Ryan, you've obviously Camouflage been around for a while.
8 years now.
It's something. This might be a weird question.
Sure, please.
What do you think of Death Stranding?
Oh, can we? Can we do this? Can we do this?
Did Luke put you up there?
He did not, but I just knowing that you have history with the Metal Gear franchise.
Yay!
Does my chair come with a seatbelt? I'm so excited. I've been waiting all week for someone to ask about Death Stranding when I'm around. Go ahead.
Well, and then we'll ask Luke what he thinks of Death Stranding.
Like maybe it's such a weird analogy, but like you were dating somebody and you want them to be happy, but you also don't want them to be like too happy without you. And so it was when I played Metal Gear Solid 5, for example. At first, I thought, this game's really good, and they don't need me. Like it feels the controls, like because I worked a lot on the controls of MGS4, and I thought, you know what, they really don't need me. This is even better than MGS4, and then just seeing them go. So it's an interesting thing. I kind of watch from afar a little bit. I try not to get too much into the lore. Like Luke and myself and Mark McDonald and Brian Itzahar, we have like this shared chat, and it's beautiful. But I have to I can't participate too much because I don't know. It's like a part of my life when I was living in Japan 10 years ago.
Right.
And so again, I really want them to be super happy, but I don't go frame by frame like Luke does to try to analyze like why is there a baby in a
Giving you the thumbs up, and
giving you a thumbs up,
singing me a sweet song, and dudes firing flares from their fingers, making it rain, taking off a mask to reveal another mask, teleporting and licking someone. You don't frame by frame that?
I don't frame by frame, even though I think it looks incredible. It looks unbelievable. I don't know even how it's going to play. I mean, you were trying to explain to me that it's a new gameplay type.
It's a Strand.
Everyone's making Strand games now.
I'm not going to stand for that. I don't know what that means. I'm not going to defend. I don't know what that means, and I don't know anything about the gameplay. But this game seems like it's going to have cinematics. So I think that's pretty exciting versus Phantom Pain.
But I feel like Phantom Pain also pre-release looked like a game that had cinematics, and it had like 4.
Yeah.
Is it 20 hours of nonstop weird, or is it pockets of extreme weirdness in these cutscenes with an open world where I'm just like following in someone's footsteps because it's an online game and or strands and like that sort of thing. Those are the questions I think I'm left.
Is there a
with.
more desirable option? Sorry.
Oh, no, please, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you want the pockets or do you want the ever permeating small doses?
I think I want the constant.
You just want weird smacking you in the face.
Weird.
So I've changed in this as well because like you can go back and read the review I wrote of Metal Gear Solid. And I literally wrote like, this guy should just go make movies. What the hell is he doing making video games? There's barely any game here. And over time, I was like, actually, just give me that weird stuff.
Yes.
And like, I know, like playing Metal Gear Solid. I think 4 was actually where a lot of it came together. Where it's like I enjoyed the gameplay as much as the story stuff. And then 5 is just off in this completely different direction. So I just wonder if you would have any special insight as having worked closely or worked on that team. Are there things you see when you watch that trailer you're like, I know.
But back to your desire about wanting something weird from Death Stranding. Here's like something that shouldn't be too much of a surprise. Like Hideo, when he works on games, it's very autobiographical, and clearly
that makes sense now.
Clearly the Konami separation experience was not a pleasant one. So I think that he's going to, it's clear, I think there's a lot of metaphor in what's going on. I see it a little differently because having worked there. Is that, I don't know if you remember it, but it has Norman Reedus and he's got handcuffs and then they're broken and there's a baby and he's naked. And it's Hideo. There's like Naked Snake. This was his baby Metal Gear, and then it's taken away from him. It disappears, and he's got like the handcuffs are off, and he's looking off in the future, and there's this kind of creepy horizon, and to me it was completely autobiographical.
No, that's exactly the game I would have made if I had made a game instead of starting Giant Bomb. It would have been like the handcuffs, shackles, pushed out into the open world. Yeah, all that same stuff.